Okay, good. All right, so my name is Dave Arendash. I've been with Accenture for about 8 months now in their wearables practice, which is based in Redwood City. Accenture, you may know, is a global consulting firm, nearly 400,000 employees and all over the world. I've been doing AR since the 80s in one form or another. Does anyone remember the Amiga? All right, cool. Yeah, been in it for a while here, and fast forward to last month, right? Oh, and by the way, I must say, Accenture is a technology agnostic company, and we do not endorse wholly any software or hardware in particular. This is not a commercial for Microsoft Hololens. And I want to say that we are talking about enterprise use cases here, not so much game-related things, such as over-the-shoulder coaching. You've probably seen this, where you have glasses usually or on a tablet, and you're doing a two-way video call. Maybe there's media like a video or schematics or whatever being relayed from an expert in the office to the field worker. Field operations, which can be anything from light to heavy industry, training, medical, mechanical, etc. Maintenance, again, any sort of light or heavy industry, telecommunications, etc. And SCADA, which is basically factory automation, and the Internet of Things, which, by the way, is also a practice at the Redwood City Accenture studio. So how has it been? In recent history, AR Enterprise has been, we talk to our client, we get their needs. Will we be using glasses, phone, tablet, etc.? It depends on the particular needs of the client. If they want a hands-free experience, it'll be glasses. If they want something that's more consumer-facing, nobody's got glasses, so we'll go with a phone. We've got a wide variety of these, and of course you can see most of these downstairs. And we've also done some work with the Project Tango tablet. Generally, we start with Android. It's easier to build to, and an SDK like Vuforia. We will use frameworks like Skylight for doing over-the-shoulder coaching and workflow management and so forth. If we need to track the world, we'll use fiducial markers. We'll use Vuforia or one of the SDKs to track markers in the real world. And oftentimes we need to screen share these things to share our experiences. My previous speaker here was having trouble doing. This can be problematic. So this is what we've been living with. App development. Basically, you build a monolithic app. If the app needs to do data sharing, we have to build that in. If it needs to do a video conference call, maybe there's a Unity plugin that helps with that. If it has to do tracking, we build in the AR library. And we have to deal with the limitations of these devices and OSs. Generally, it's going to be some version of Android, generally custom, probably a few generations back. Most of these devices that we've dealt with, there is a concern for heat. They can heat up fairly quickly, and some of them are right against your skin. But the low battery life means you don't have to suffer very long. But these add up, and oftentimes, too, there's a weight that's placed squarely on the bridge of your nose. So these are all human factors to consider. And the price range, a couple $1,000s. Enter the lens. So about a month ago, we were lucky enough to be in the first wave to receive a HoloLens. And within about 30 minutes of its unboxing, we knew that our jobs had changed, that the world had changed for us. It comes with a few what would normally be considered mundane apps. For example, Skype. Sorry. But this isn't just Skype, it's Skype with 3D telestration in it. So as I wear the HoloLens and I decide I need to circle something in the world, I can pinch and drag and out comes a line. Or I can choose the arrow tool and drop arrows. And because of the depth sensing in it, it knows that those arrows would drop on his head or that chair or that projector. On the other end, if you have the HoloLens plugin on your PC, you can do the same. and you can circle things and drop in arrows that appear in my world. So over-the-shoulder coaching is just sort of already there. You didn't have to build it. It comes with the Edge web browser. Does anybody remember Internet Explorer? Yeah, me neither. So the Edge is there, and you drop it into the world. They're just flat panels. You can place them against the wall. You can let them hang in space. You can make them this big or 40 feet wide. It doesn't matter. Perceptually, it's interesting. You can now look at any page on the net, and you can have as many as you like. So now you can create your own data-rich environment. This is, you know, you're looking at MRI data, you're looking at Facebook pages, you're looking at CNN, you're looking at your IoT dashboard, you're looking at a workflow dashboard. All the data that you wanted to interact with is now at your fingertips through a typical web page, and it's just there for free. And its simultaneous location and mapping capabilities are outstanding. It's got onboard Connect-like cameras that provide the most stable tracking we've seen at human speed. So you can just look around, you can walk around, and it builds the map as you go. And I don't know if you can make out the triangles in that picture, but that's about the coarseness of the mesh there. And the tracking means that you can walk around. And we haven't found the limit yet, but something about the size of the expo floor is the size of our office. We've been able to outfit the entire space without loss of integrity. And when you return back to where you started, everything that you left in the space is still there. And as far as sharing the experience, you can log into it through a web page. So it has its own little web server built into it. This lets you do things like check on the temperature, install apps, but it also lets you interact. So there's a page that has a mouse tracker and a keyboard in case you don't have the Bluetooth equivalents for that, but you can hook those up as well. But the most important thing is that it can share live video feed. So there is a forward camera right in the center, and it overlays the augmented content so that people can easily see on a remote machine, which can then, of course, be shared out on video Skype or WebEx or whatever you have. So making presentations and demos becomes very easy. Not showing that here because of the congested Wi-Fi. Also, I mean, it's got solid Unity support right out of the box. The tutorials are wonderful. Within 20 minutes, you've made a game that works. The audio component is built in. Those little orange things on the side are speakers that only you can hear, and the sound quality is really quite good. Decent battery life. We had it running all day yesterday with minimal charging, and it's just a trooper. Not that much heat. In fact, it just gets slightly warm. It has integrated speech recognition, and the Cortana AI is available. And the weight rests on a headband that's padded and adjustable. You can pull it out forward in case you have glasses to get around. They've really done a nice job on the comfort. And it's about $3,000. So it's right in there with the other glasses. So we have an OS that's made for mixed reality. It happens to be Windows 10, which means that the apps you're building are more portable. And all these wonderful things come with it. Is it too good to be true? Well, sort of. Not all the apps play together. So you do have this hologram app where you can place children and animals and other things in the space, and that shares the space with the Edge browsers and other things that you can see in the world. Those are sort of running as what they call a shell app. It's like a desktop widget. But when you make your Unity apps, they are not currently shell apps. They take over the space. When it starts, the other things disappear until you're done running your app. Things like the IMU and depth cams are not immediately available in Unity, at least not yet. We've had some interesting little road bumps, integrating things like networking and a few other things. Nothing insurmountable, but then again, it's Windows 10, it's mobile, it's a HoloLens. There's going to be something, so just expect that. I'm not saying that it's a perfect environment. The point cloud updates every couple of seconds or so, and it's fairly coarse. It's not that great at recognizing all your fingers, but it can get your sort of mitten. The rendering power is not what you'd call optimal. It's not anywhere near a modern PC. In fact, I've seen things that would normally run very smoothly on a tablet that produce judder on the HoloLens. Some shaders will crash it. It's not very good with transparency. You want to keep your poly count very low, or as low as possible, and optimize like crazy. And lighting conditions can affect it. So, I mean, it's inherently transparent. And the more ambient light you have, the more washed out the augmented rendering will be. Plus, especially in strong sunlight, the infrared depth tracking gets washed out. So it is not an outdoor experience. And it didn't ship with any AR library, oddly enough. The depth tracking is done with the Kinect style cameras, but it doesn't have marker recognition, at least not built in, at least not yet. Not so bad, because with Visual Studio, you can roll your own shell programs so that you can build apps that run on the desktop and interact, so you can have your edges up and other apps to interact. That way, you only have to build the parts of your solution that need to be built. You don't have to build your own Skype. You don't have to build your own web browser. We can expect more support from Unity and probably others. Vuforia is coming soon. Is anyone from Vuforia here today, right now? You are? Are you from Vuforia? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yes, they've announced that they'll be supporting the HoloLens, so this is wonderful. All the traditional augmented reality that you know and love soon on the lens. And what about that field of view, right? So everybody's heard about how small it is, right? Well, it's like a 15-inch screen at 2 feet. And yes, that if you've gotten used to cardboard and gear and Oculus, you're going to be a little disappointed until you put it on, because you get used to it. Most of what you look at is going to be fairly smallish objects that you're interacting with, or they can be. And if you need more feel of it, you just step back. You can walk around things. Your brain builds up a perceptual field of view. So when you look at this thing here, and then you look at a different thing there, your mind remembers there's something there, and when you look back, it's still there, and it sort of fills in all this in between as part of that perceived field of view. Not great for panoramas. You're still going to get a constant reminder of the field of view when you're looking at a 360-degree panorama. But then again, it's not really meant for VR. So take it for what it is. So in conclusion, how is the HoloLens disrupting AR? It's got a ton of nice out-of-the-box functionality that has been traditionally a lot of what we do, and now it's just available. Excellent tracking. It's hard to go back to other solutions that don't track as well. It's raised the bar. And I call it a new offering from an old player, right? So it's Microsoft. They've been around forever, as you know. It's been Android for a while. Now we're taking a very hard look back at Microsoft. So what has Accenture done? We have a few small proof of concepts. Please visit our booth 123. We have a car configurator that you can speak to. This was put together in just a few hours. You can get behind the wheel. This is a location-based sort of tourism thing that doesn't work well without Windows. But you can see it in any case. And we're working on a new thing that's sort of like Skype on steroids, which is about all I can say on it, unfortunately, right now. But stay tuned. Thank you again. Oh, and we are hiring. So if you're an augmented reality developer, please drop by and drop off a resume. Thank you very much.